It's time to venture into the Dalek universe once again with the release of Dalek Universe 2, once again starring David Tennant and all of the rest of this amazing cast. We have Jane Slavin coming back as Anya Kingdom, along with Joe Sims coming back as the lovable android Mark 7. And of course, Tennant is playing the 10th Doctor. He has been put into this situation where he's in unfamiliar territory. He doesn't have a TARDIS, and he's a little bit out of his depth in some situations, but the main thing is he is the smartest person in the room. So here we have Dalek Universe 2, which is aptly titled as the follow-up to Dalek Universe 1. Like the first box set, which did a number of amazing things, I expected a lot from this set, but did this set deliver? Did it continue all of the great things that happened in the first box set? Well, it's time to find out. Let's start off with the CD content. If you want to skip to my reviews of the stories in this set, then you'll be able to see in the chapter points below. So, CD content, cover art. Right off the bat, it's amazing cover art. Once again, you have the 10th Doctor at the centre. You have the Dalek from Death to the Daleks, a design I've pretty much always liked. We've got Mark 7 at the left, we've got Anya at the right. Overall, absolutely amazing front cover. You've got all sorts of other things going on with all these different colours, and it looks like a little bit of circuitry behind the 10th Doctor there. We've got spaceships, planets, and we've even got what looks like something out of the classic series with all of these patterns in the background and what seems to look like a vortex in a way. It's a really amazing front cover. It builds on the first front cover, and I think this is a good selling point for this release. Once again, you have your cast at the top as well as your featured cast for this box set, and Big Finish We Love Stories at the bottom. And then if we just take a look at the spine, look at this spine. Absolutely gorgeous spine, isn't it? So it tells you very clearly what this release is. It's Doctor Who Dalek Universe 2. Again, you've got the Big Finish We Love Stories at the bottom, and we've got David Tennant looking absolutely brilliant at the top there. Taking a look at the back, there is a rundown of what the Dalek Universe 2 is all about, and it gives you information about what this set includes. So, like the first set, it includes 3 stories written by different writers. We have Cycle of Destruction by Roy Gill, The Trojan Dalek by John Dorney, and The Lost by Robert Valentine. And this set was directed by Ken Bentley. All 3 stories, in fact, were directed by Ken Bentley. And if you want to pause the video now, just by having a look at that synopsis, then you can do so. At the top there as well, it tells you very clearly what this release is, Dalek Universe 2. And then, just at the bottom, it gives you all of your details about this release, including runtime and other things. So that is the box art. Now it's time to take a look at the CDs inside. Those are the slipcases. Here is Cycle of Destruction. Very good front cover with Mark 7 taking centre stage, because this takes place straight after the ending of Dalek Universe 1. We had a cliffhanger at the end of that, and this is how that cliffhanger gets resolved. Very nice front cover, also featuring the 10th Doctor and another character who is related to Mark 7. And you may be mistaken for thinking that this is Mel's, but it's not. It's the same actor who played Mel's in Let's Kill Hitler, but she's not playing Mel's in this. So for all of you River Song fans out there, sorry to disappoint. We also have a bear, which isn't a bear, and we have the spaceship that features in the story. So yeah, very nice front cover with all kinds of colours, with the sunset just at the middle there, with a lot of the green to represent the foresty type of area that they're in, as well as a little bit of red. So yeah, quite a lot of variety on the front cover. There's a spine, you've already seen the spine, and there is the back of this CD case. So I'll just go in here, and you can pause the video now so you can read the plot for this story. Inside you've got your leaflet with your reversible cover if you want to display it with the authentic Tennant era logo. And here is the disc. Pop this disc out. We have an advertisement for Dalek Universe 1, although it doesn't make sense if you get this set without listening to Dalek Universe 1. Here is the beautiful looking front cover for the Trojan Dalek, featuring all three of our main cast here, along with some pretty battered looking Daleks here, and it looks like they're on a corridor. And if you can just make out, I'll just go in a bit closer because the lighting is not too good today. You've got two Dalek eye stalks here. Looks very nice, and well, it does everything you want it to do, really. It does the story justice, because this is a good story. John Dorney comes back to write this story after writing for two of the stories from the first set. Take a look at the back. Here is the plot for the Trojan Dalek, so you can pause the video now. Inside we got our leaflet with our alternate cover once again, and we have our disc. Pop the disc out. What do we get? We get an advertisement for the Ninth Doctor Adventures Volume 1 Ravagers, starring Christopher Eccleston. Last cover of this set is The Lost, and it is the most unique cover out of the three. All three of the covers of the individual stories in this set are absolutely gorgeous. We have David Tennant and Jane Slavin here taking the centre stage, along with a mysterious figure just here with a portal, and we've got some bits of asteroid just there. Absolutely lovely cover, and again does this story a lot of justice. We turn this around. We've got the plot synopsis for The Lost, so you can pause at your own leisure and read the plot there. There's your alternate cover, which is also the leaflet for this particular CD, and we have two discs here. So disc 3 contains The Lost, and disc 4 contains the bonus material, the behind the scenes for Dalek Universe 2, and here is an advertisement for the 10th Doctor and River Song. So the biggest question that I came to when coming to this set was, could it live up to the potential of what the first set delivered? Well, Dalek Universe 1 was a very strong set indeed. It is without doubt one of the best Big Finish releases to come out in the last year or so. So Dalek Universe did have quite a bit riding on it. I didn't expect it to be groundbreaking. I didn't expect it to do any shocking things in any sort of way. Does it do any shocking things compared to what set 1 did? No, I'd say it wouldn't be as shocking as the first set, because the first set did contain that cliffhanger, and I won't go into too much detail if you've still not listened to that set. But then again, if you've not listened to that set, why would you be watching this video? But anyhow, Dalek Universe 2, it delivers. It continues everything that the first set did good. The writing, the performances, everyone does a great job. So without further ado, let's go into further detail about what each story in this set offers, starting with Cycle of Destruction. We're getting more character development. This was the thing that I wanted most from this set. Mainly the two companion characters though, because we know the 10th Doctor quite a lot from his TV adventures and whatnot, and he has been doing Big Finish adventures for quite a while now. So it was essential that we got to learn more about the characters of Anya and Joe Sims as Mark 7. And I definitely feel for Cycle of Destruction as well as the Trojan Dalek, we get to learn a lot more about Mark's backstory, and that's really good because Mark 7 is a character that I really like. I loved him in the first set as well as the prequel story featuring Tom Baker as the Fourth Doctor. So going into this, I was really happy to listen to this story as it unfolded. We got to learn more about who this character is, what motivations he has, and it's quite sad in a way, but it's resolved in such a beautiful way. A really great way to start this set. But as well as all the stuff with Mark 7, we get to learn a little bit more about Anya. Anya had her time to shine in the House of Kingdom, which was the final story of Dalek Universe 1. So I wasn't expecting them to delve right back into Anya again in the first story of the set. We get little tidbits here and there about how she's feeling and the whole dynamic between her and the 10th Doctor, because the 10th Doctor is still on the fence about her. He still doesn't completely trust her, and that's all to do with the Fourth Doctor Adventures Series 8, all the events that took place in those sets. So it's completely understandable, but it's also nice that we do get references to that, as well as a couple of references to the first set, of course. What surprised me about this story, and I guess the whole set on the whole, is the fact that we still don't really get all that much Dalek action. We don't really get that much of it here, barring a flashback scene, which is all to do with Mark 7. Like I said, we get to know more about Mark 7, and there's obviously that connection to the Daleks, and as you know, he's a resistance fighter. He absolutely despises the Daleks if he can feel that emotion. And it's great to hear that side of his story. The supporting characters in this also give more of an insight into who Mark 7 really is. And it turns out that he is not the only one of his kind. So that's really interesting, and it all ties into why he went a little bit doolally at the cliffhanger at the end of the House of Kingdom. It's resolved in an unexpected manner, but nevertheless it works going into this story. What Cycle of Destruction does very well is it gets you right back into the thrill of the adventure. By the end of it, you're ready to go and you're ready to experience the rest of this box set. It leaves you wanting more. The Trojan Dalek was a very good story because, yet again, we get even more character development for Mark 7. We also get quite a bit of fun with Anya, and this is the most action featuring the Daleks in this set, although the Daleks are not as you think they are in this story without giving too much away. There's a few characters in here who do some pretty despicable things, and we get an unlikely encounter for the 10th Doctor with the Daleks in this. David Tennant gives a powerhouse performance in this story because we get references to his time in the TV series, everything he's lost, all those type of things that get brought up again, and it's really great to kind of feel his thought process in a way with these audio dramas. Again, like I said for the first box set, one thing I've always wanted is to have unique stories featuring the 10th Doctor which take him to darker places, which could sort of justify why he does what he does towards the end of his time, particularly at the end of the episode The Waters of Mars, becoming that darker character. And I think what happens in this story in particular pushes him to the edge, and you're left wondering, oh my god, what can they do in the last story? So yeah, it goes without saying, this story is very good. You've got villains that I absolutely despise, and you've got a very interesting take on the Daleks, something that hasn't really been done in the way that it's been done for this particular adventure. I think that Nicholas Briggs' voice acting for this gives a very interesting spin on how he voices the Daleks in this, and I'm all for it. At the end of the day, I think it expands the Dalek lore all that little bit more, and that can only be a good thing, particularly for a Doctor Who fan like me who really does like the Daleks. Oh, and without giving too much away, the ending of this story, my god, that's all I can say really. It was a heart-in-mouth moment, my god. And that leads us perfectly into the final story of this set, The Lost. I think all three stories in this set are very strong. There's not a bad one in the bunch. Honestly, if there was anything I thought was really bad, then I'd be very honest with you and I would just say outright, yeah, so-and-so was a bad story. But honestly, all three of these stories are great. The Lost is my personal favourite of the set. I don't know if it's particularly the best story of the set, but it is definitely my personal favourite. And that is just due to the exploration of the 10th Doctor and Anya, the aftermath of what happens in a Trojan Dalek. And we get this weird creature which is just known simply as the Lost. It's quite messed up in a way, I feel. It's a very powerful creature at that, because it does quite a few things to mess with the Doctor and Anya's mind, and you really don't want to do that, particularly to the 10th Doctor, who has lost so much. We get all sorts of revelations that come out in this one as well, which tests the relationship between the 10th Doctor and Anya once again. It is all put out in the open yet again. The best thing that the House of Kingdom did with Anya's characterization for Dalek Universe 1 is replicated here with The Lost. This is easily Anya's best story for Dalek Universe 2. Both lead performers in this give a tremendous performance. Joe Sims has more of a backseat in this one, but he has a few interesting things to do. Without going into too much detail, the main draw for this particular story, and as the set as a whole, is the acting, and it is complemented heavily by the strong characterization by the writer, Robert Valentine. There's one stage where I actually think, how on earth are they going to get out of a certain situation? Because it really does feel like at this stage that the Doctor really is at his most helpless, and you think, how on earth can they just solve this? And the way it's done so impeccably. It is right up there with moments like The Wrong Woman, which was a very well worked out story. And it happens here again. They did it again with this one. And just when you think things couldn't get even more berserk, the ending of this story leads us to Dalek Universe 3. So the whole ordeal is not over yet. We still have 3 more stories. And I think the way that this particular story ends in a very nice way. And it leaves me wanting more yet again. I cannot wait for Dalek Universe 3. To conclude, I was very worried about this set, thinking that Dalek Universe 1 was one of those one-time pony sets. I thought that they couldn't top it. But honestly, Dalek Universe 2, while I don't think it does top Dalek Universe 1, I say that I can hold it with a similar regard to Dalek Universe 1. The acting, the characterization, the writing, the sound design, the music, everything you want from a spectacular Big Finish production. Like Dalek Universe 1, I'd easily say that Dalek Universe 2 is one of the better releases to come out in the last year or so. What this set does is, again, build more characterization for our main trio here, and that is essentially what I wanted from this set, so it delivered on that. While it doesn't give us all that much Dalek action, you have to remember that one of the greatest stories ever, Genesis of the Daleks, didn't really feature that much Dalek action either, but it was still a wonderful story. But judging by what we've learnt about the third set, I'm pretty certain that we're going to get a lot of Dalek action in that. If Dalek Universe 2 did not deliver, then I may not have been as excited for Dalek Universe 3. But after listening to this, I certainly am now. The question is, are you as excited? Tell me in the comments, what did you think about Dalek Universe 1 and Dalek Universe 2? Give this video a like, a share, and if you're new to the channel, then be sure to subscribe for even more Doctor Who content, including my upcoming review of Dalek Universe 3. Until then, take care. I shall see you next time.